Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Jai Jagadisha Jaya Nishingadev Jaya Nishingadev Nishingadev Jaya Nishingadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol, Haribol. Shri Nishingadev Bhagavan ki, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki, Gaur Premanande,
Hare Krishna. So thank you everyone for coming to Bhaktivedanta Manor this Sunday afternoon. Now we will be having a Bhagavad Gita class here in the temple room given by David Prabhu. And there is also some prasadam being served in the Haveli. So if you wish to, you can get some. But please do stick around. And of course, today is actually New Year's Eve, as I'm sure many of you are aware. And therefore, we'll be having some kirtans going on in the Haveli till midnight, starting from 6 p.m. So everyone is welcome and invited. Hare Krishna. Just give us a few moments in the temple room while we set up for the class. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
I will recite it.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, all of it.
No, it's a Bhagavad Gita class.
Yeah, I wish I can do like you. But I make mistakes.
Oh no, me too. No, I do as well. But
No, you don't. Yesterday somebody was reciting Gita.
oh yeah, for the Gita Jayanti. Yeah.
I know, but I just saw a little bit.
Yeah. So now we have the just Bhagavad Gita class.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll listen to you.
Thank you. Sure.
I will. Take care.
Yeah. Yeah, I can sing. I can't really play, but I can't play the instruments so much. But okay, you can sing if you like to sing. It's fine. I don't mind. You can if you like. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'll sing it if you want.
Yeah, I don't mind. I can sing as well. So it
Oh, you
doesn't-
sing then.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Hare Krishna. So we're now going to have the Bhagavad Gita class. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Abha Kari Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Janavalabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Kukulananda Radhe Kukulananda Radha Kukulananda Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Shri Shri Radha Kunanda ki Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Gauranitai ki Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Jakchurun Militanyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutaye Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Prasyatya Desatarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you very much. So today we're speaking from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text number 7. And before we begin speaking, I'd like to seek all your blessings so that hopefully I can speak something worthwhile. And also I'd like to seek the blessings of those who may be listening online. So we're going to first recite the Sanskrit, and then we'll continue on to the translation and purport. Mataha parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani kana iva. Mataha parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani kana iva. So the translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as pearls are strung on a thread. So, O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as pearls are strung on a thread. And purport. There is a common controversy over whether the supreme absolute truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the absolute truth is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and this is confirmed in every step. In this verse in particular, it is stressed that the absolute truth is a person, that the personality of Godhead is the supreme absolute truth, is also the affirmation of the Brahma Samhita. Isvara Parama Krishna, Tachitananda Vigraha. That is the supreme absolute truth. That is the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead, is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the absolute truth is the supreme person, the cause of all causes. The impersonalist, however, argues on the strength of the Vedic version, giving in the Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.10, Tato yad uttara tatram tad arupam anamayam ya etad vidur amritaste bhavanti ate tare dukam eva pianti. In the material world, Brahma, the primeval living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme amongst the demigods, human beings, and lower animals. But beyond Brahma, there is a transcendence who has no material form and is free from all material contaminations. Anyone who can know him also becomes transcendental, but those who do not know him suffer the miseries of the material world. The impersonalist puts more stress on the word arupam, but this arupam is not impersonal. It indicates the transcendental form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, as described in the Brahma Samhita quoted above. Other verses in the Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.8-9 substantiate this as follows. Vedaham itam purusham mahantam aditya varnam tamasaha parastat tam eva viditvati mrityameti nanya panta vidyate yanaya yasmat param naparam asti kinchid yasma nayo no jayo sti kinchit. Vriksha eva stabdo dia tisatyakas, tene dam purnam purashena sarvam. I know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all material conceptions of darkness, only he knows, only he who knows him can transcend the bonds of birth and death. There is no way for liberation other than this knowledge of the Supreme Person. There is no truth superior to that Supreme Person, because he is the supermost. He is smaller than the smallest, and he is greater than the greatest. He is situated as a silent tree, and he illuminates the transcendental sky. And as a tree spreads its roots, he spreads his extensive energies. From these verses, one concludes that the Supreme Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all-pervading by his multi-energies, both material and spiritual. Okay. So, in this verse, it is speaking about basically Krishna is saying that he is the source of everything, and all this material world is resting on Krishna. So it's mentioned in the purport. Srila Prabhupada elaborates about impersonal and personal. So what do we understand by this? So it's important to understand that, as mentioned, the Supreme Lord is a person, not just an energy. So this material world is just the energy of the Lord. And these are all actually what emanates from the Lord, but they're basically, there's no personal feature there. The material world is simply an emanation from the Lord. So it's important to understand when we think about, we have New Year's Eve today, and in the coming year we'll have maybe so many resolutions about what we will do, our wishes and so on. So it's important to understand that Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So this is something which is very important to understand, because we all have ambitions and desires, and they can fall into any category, but it's important that to actually know what is this material world, how does it work, and so on. So there's a story I like to tell, which is from a Krishna book. So this is the story when Lord Krishna he gives his benediction upon the Brahmanas' wives. So basically one day in Vrindavan, Krishna was playing with his cowherd friends, and they all became very hungry. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He can easily make them full if need be, but he actually decided to actually give his mercy unto these wives of the Brahmanas. So what he did was actually he requested the cowherd boys, please go to these Brahmanas and to beg from them for some food. So they duly went to the house of the Brahmanas, where they were actually performing these what's called ritualistic sacrifice. So these were known as Smarta Brahmanas, and so these Brahmanas, they're very much interested in fruitive sacrifices, fruitive activities. So this means material activities. So basically, they'll do activities which will give them what's called a material benediction. So, as is mentioned in the purport also, that there is a Supreme Lord, and then it mentioned Brahma and the demigods. So there is one Supreme Lord, but the demigods in this material world are like they're representatives of the Supreme Lord. So they oversee the different elements of nature, and they're basically, they have a role which is to look after the material existence. So for example, generally in order to prepare crops and so on, the farmers will perform a sacrifice to Lord Indra, so that the rains will be bountiful and so on like that. So these brahmanas, they were known as very learned, but they were called smarta brahmanas, which means that they were proclaimed to be brahmanas by birth. So basically that they were born into brahmana families. But this is something that Lord Chaitanya refutes, and it's very important to know that, for example, one may think that they're a brahmana from being born into a brahmana family, but this is not actually the case. In the same way that you don't become a doctor by being the son of a doctor. So what's required is actual qualification. So one can be qualified based on their consciousness. So if they have the qualities of a brahmana, then they're a brahmana. And so no matter what background one is born in, as long as they are qualified, then that's the case, that they're qualified. So these brahmanas, they thought themselves to be very learned and so on, and they were doing this the sacrifices. So the cowherd boys, they came to these brahmanas and they asked, please can we have some food? We're sent here on the request of Krishna and Balaram. And Krishna and Balaram, they had the inclination already that these brahmanas, they're not going to, they might not accept the request because basically Krishna is from what's called a Vaishya background. So this means that he was a farmer, and that Balaram is from a Kshatriya background, so that he's a warrior class, so it's different classes. And so generally the brahmanas, they wouldn't be so inclined to give charity, but nonetheless the cowherd boys went and they requested some foodstuff. And so basically the brahmanas, they didn't even reply to them, they just simply ignored them. There was no yes or no answer. So a bit disappointed, the cowherd boys went back to Krishna and Balaram. And then they actually they stated, they didn't reply or anything like that. So basically, Krishna said, don't be dismayed, that that's the nature of begging or asking for charity. It's simply how it is like that. So basically, Krishna asked him, please go to the Brahmana's wives and then to request some actual foodstuffs from them. So the cowherd boys went to the wives of the Brahmanas and they actually requested for some foodstuffs. And also, just to mention previously, the cowherd boys had mentioned to the Brahmanas that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Lord Vishnu. So basically, this Lord Vishnu is the actual ultimate goal of all sacrifices and austerities, is to please Vishnu. But the Brahmanas were too materially inclined, and in that way they were in illusion from the material energy. So for that reason, they went to the wives of the Brahmanas, and straight away, when they mentioned Krishna and Balaram, so basically, Krishna and Balaram, people can develop attachment to the names of Krishna and Balaram. So it's said that the Brahmanas, they could only chant the Vedic mantras, but they couldn't chant Krishna or Balaram's names because they're too materially inclined. Because when you chant Krishna and Balaram's names, that's when your material life finishes. And these Brahmanas' wives, they were completely overjoyed, and they were devotees naturally by heart with Krishna, and immediately they said, "Oh yes, whatever is needed." So they give enough foodstuffs, and then basically they went back, and everyone was very pleased, Krishna and Balaram. And then, well, the thing is, they actually left their house, and they brought the foodstuff personally to Krishna, and then Krishna, upon seeing his devotees, the Brahmanas' wives, basically when the Brahmanas' wives, they looked at Krishna in the eye, Krishna entered their heart, and so this is when they felt a complete oneness with Krishna. So this is something which is important to understand. What was this oneness that the Brahmanas' wives felt with Krishna? So Srila Prabhupada describes that naturally this is a oneness, and it's a oneness and difference. So this is the philosophy that Lord Chaitanya has given us. Because people are open to interpret this and misinterpret this, that basically that they become one with God, that people believe that they are God and there's no difference, but there's a very clear distinction. So this is mentioned that it's a oneness and difference. So Krishna was personally manifest in their heart, but he's still separate, and that's something which was very important. So Srila Prabhupada describes also that this feeling of oneness can be between a lover, a couple. They also feel a certain oneness, but are still different, and that's what was stressed here. So the Brahmanas' wives, due to their simple devotion, they got the mercy of Krishna. And then they were very a bit distraught, because they were thinking that, oh, if I actually, because they went against the recommendation of their husbands, friends and family, and they went to Krishna. For that sense, the Brahmanas were very strict. So they thought, oh, we won't be welcome back, is what they thought. So Krishna said, don't worry, that he is also the super soul in the heart, and he can, anything is possible because he dictates all circumstances. So actually when they went back, it turns out that the Brahmanas, they were not so disappointed. And upon actually seeing the devotion of their wives, they actually begin to feel bad, and they actually realize the error of their ways, or their mistake. So then they realize that their sacrifice was futile, and they wish that they could actually have that same devotion as the wives of the Brahmanas, of their wives. So in this sense, we can learn a great lesson, that rather than trying to acquire material wealth and prosperity, because by simply satisfying Krishna, the goddess of fortune is also, of course, a devotee of Krishna. So all opulences are there materially anyway. So it's simply, a fruitless endeavor. But of course, it's a test of devotion that one becomes an illusion, because that's the way of the material world, that it's a test. And people can be more inclined to acquire opulence, and the brahmanas being the social prestige of being learned and so on. So in this sense, we can understand that it says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, so Vedas sarvera ham eva vedyo, Vedas cha sarvera ham eva vedyo, that Krishna says, by all the Vedas I am to be known. So actually, you see, these brahmanas were actually doing these sacrifices based on the scriptures, but all the scriptures are actually leading to Krishna and devotional service. So that's the point of the scriptures. And these demigods are like order suppliers. They'll supply us, and it's more easy to attain material benedictions than devotional benediction. So that's the difference as well. But one thing I wanted to make the point about is, in terms of our New Year's resolution, aspirations and so on, it's something which is very important to keep in mind, is that in the new year we have to realize that all our aspirations, all our studies, everything are only successful if they're dovetailed towards Krishna. So it's not that we can have material prosperity, we can be very comfortable materially, but ultimately everything is for the satisfaction of Krishna. So that's something which is very important to try and remember. When one is actually partakes of devotional service, the different what we call ashrams, or family life and so on, is all meant to actually an aid for us to become more Krishna conscious. So it's not to get sidetracked in our goal in that sense. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Gyanam Pariparsate Tesham Nitya Binuktanam Yogashemam Vahamyam. So Krishna says, to those who exclusively meditate on my transcendental form, for them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So Krishna is saying here, for us, for those who are actually simply focused on Krishna and serving Krishna exclusively, that he'll actually look after us and take care of us. So that's a promise of Krishna's. So I'd like to ask if there's any questions on what's been discussed so far. Yeah. Okay, so one thing I want to, it's very important to mention is the process of serving Krishna. So this age is Kali Yuga. It's known as the darkest age, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So it's an age, naturally, we can see there's many conflicts in the world and so on. And that's the nature of Kali Yuga. And people are more distracted. Everyone seems, so busy. It's the nature of material life that we only live. I said in this age of Kali Yuga that the life duration is 100 years, and so it's a life of, a busy life in that sense of, it's more turbulent than what's been mentioned in the scriptures in previous times. So to actually help us who are the most fallen in one sense in this age of Kali Yuga. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, he has given us the process of chanting of the holy names. So this is the known as the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And Lord Chaitanya, he appeared 500 years ago, and he inaugurated what's known as the Sankirtan movement. So this Sankirtan movement is very important because it breaks through all those different social barriers, and anyone and everyone in any time, place and circumstance can very easily chant the holy names of the Lord, and by doing so they can help to very quickly clear all the nonsense that's inside in the heart, and to actually purify their consciousness. So yeah, it's basically a mirror is a bad analogy, but basically if Krishna is there, but if we're looking through a window, it's full of dust, and when we clean that window, we can see that Krishna is always there perfectly. And so we have to realize that Krishna is always with us. The super soul is always in our heart. It's just that we don't have the ability yet to actually realize that, and that's a relationship that we can actually realize. So if you like to, we can all chant together the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And when we chant this mantra, basically it's a very simple prayer, and this prayer means that we're asking is, my dear Lord, please engage me in your devotional service. So if you like to, we can all chant together the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so thank you. So it's a very simple prayer, but yeah, that's, as we mentioned, it's very very practical, very powerful, and it's a way by which you can easily please Krishna, and we can keep Krishna present by chanting everywhere, any time, place, or circumstance. We can always chant. We can chant to ourselves. We can sing to ourselves, and actually have that meditational mood everywhere. And in that way, we can carry Krishna with us, and we can actually see and give a sincere effort to actually chanting, and then see actually, and for ourselves, does a transformation take place? So it's something which is very very important, but the proof is in the pudding for everyone who actually is willing. Yeah, so that's something which is very important. So if there's any questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. That will end today's class, and I wish you all the best in the new year, and yeah, hopefully that you can make some New Year's resolutions which will bring you closer to Krishna. Okay. So thank you. Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, all glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
get back before the new year.
Yeah, definitely.
And then start with your But I'm just glad, I'm really glad I saw you. Hope you're doing well.
Good to see you. Doing well, thanks. Yeah. This is what you can do.
So, yeah, well, have you had refreshing?
I know I'm going to go now.
Oh, right, well, my transfer is
Yeah, all the best in the new year.
let's see you. Happy New Year. See you next year.
Yeah.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vachacharya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,